Hello there, ladies and gentlemen, and welcome back to another video. WoW recently has been a bit of a strange one for me. I've found it very exciting and very boring at the same time. However, there is a new upcoming patch called Guardians of the Dream. It's very druidic themed, it's very Emerald Dream themed, and it's something that I'm actually really excited for. Aesthetically, it's making me want to play my druid alongside probably everybody else, but it's actually something that I'm very, very excited for. However, there has been a problem in WoW that's occurred to me for the last couple of years, actually, ever since I'd say the start of Shadowlands, and that is the fact that you don't actually have to be good to play WoW. As long as you've got money, you don't have to be good. I, for a very long time, haven't seen WoW as a new game. It's a game that I've been playing for absolute years, and thinking about coming into it as a new player hasn't been kind of at the top of my list. However, at the start of the year, my partner started to dabble in WoW, and it made me kind of ask myself a few questions. How easy is it to actually achieve anything in WoW? Because when we look at achieving things in WoW, we look at our ahead of the curves, our cutting edge, our gladiator achievements, our rating in PvP. Some people look at collecting and pets and battle pets and mounts and all that stuff, and that stuff is good too. As you can probably tell by looking at my character's transmogs, that's something that's really, really important to me. But when we look at new, fresh players, how easy is it to actually get into WoW? Well, it's actually pretty easy if you've got a lot of money. So, as you are all probably aware, there are websites out there that you can use to pay real money to get certain achievements. For example, you can go on a pay-to-win website. There are lots and many out there. I'm not going to mention any here. And you can pay probably around about 20 bucks, kind of mid-season, and you can buy your Ahead of the Curve achievement. Now, when you're looking, if you're someone who doesn't raid in guilds, now, for years I raided in guilds. Because of my work schedule now, I can't commit to that. It's really hard to pug, because when you're looking through the group finder, you're getting... You have to have the Ahead of the Curve achievement. Now, the only way to get the Ahead of the Curve achievement is to kill the boss at the end, but you can't do that, and it's a catch-22. So what you find is people pay for the end kill boss. So for example, in Shadowlands, it was Sire Denathrius for Castle Nathria. You hadn't killed any of the other bosses, yet you got invited in priority because you had that achievement. Now, for me, it was really hard to kill Sire Denathrius because I'd killed every other boss and I knew all the mechanics for every other boss. I just never killed Sire Denathrius. Now, I could have known every single mechanic for Sire Denathrius, and because of the groups I was in, they may not have killed him. Yet, someone who doesn't know how to do any of the bosses, any of the mechanics, who'll die straight away, would get invited over me because they had the achievement that they paid for. Ahead of the Curve is an amazing achievement. It's something, when I was raiding a guild, when we got ahead of the curve, wow, the excitement, we won, we beat the end boss, we beat the patch, that was it. Nowadays, I look at it a little bit more negatively because it's kind of like a golden ticket. Now, I made a video about 2 years ago saying that I'd finally got the golden ticket and I could get into every group I could. Yet, that's someone who's played the game for a long time. So the question I have is, how easy is it for someone who's new to the game? Now, bear in mind, you kind of know all the add-ons where you can play your classes. Tanks and healers are really easy to get because people are looking for those kind of things. But what about an average DPS? People who normally come and play WoW for the first time do pick DPS. Some pick healers, and the adventurous and wanting a challenge pick tanks. But if you've never played the game before, you're probably going to pick a DPS. So I thought to myself, let's look at it from a new player perspective. So I'm going to set myself a challenge. When the new patch comes out and the new raid comes out, I want to see how long it takes for me to get ahead of the curve. Because for an average player, ahead of the curve is probably the highest level, is probably the most difficult. There's no way you're going to be doing cutting edge as a new player. Normal kills, probably, but ahead of the curve, I'd say is probably the hardest thing you could achieve for, besides PvP. We'll get onto that in another video. So my plan is I will be taking one of my DPSs. I will be having it at a standard item level, probably 402 at the moment, but that will change when the new patch comes out. Because the catch-up systems we know work. We know that new players will use the catch-up mechanics and get to that basic level. But actually, as a standard DPS with no priority in queues, how long is it going to take and how hard is it going to take to get ahead of the curve? So my plan is, I've got to think about this logically when it comes to picking a class. So picking a class, I'm either probably going to go for the Warlock, because you're going to get invited for a couple of reasons. You're going to get invited because of the summoning, and you're going to get invited because of the health stones. Okay? They're a standard DPS. Now, I was thinking Hunter, but Hunter really hasn't got anything else to offer apart from Lust. And so many other classes have Lust anyway, so that would be the one that I find most enjoyable. And the Warlock is something that I've never really hardcore played, especially in newer versions. My very first character was a Warlock on the EU server, but that was years ago, and I haven't really depthed into it. Now, a lot of you will know that I normally mainly heal, and I'll have a video coming out about 10.1 and reviewing it, because actually in 10.1, I'm going to say I didn't main a healer. I actually mained a DPS. I mained a Retribution Paladin, which I found very, very fun, and actually I achieved great things on that character. But that's my question to you guys. I'm going to leave this video out for about a week, and I want to see in the comments below what kind of character you want me to try this challenge on. I'm thinking a Warlock is probably going to be my best bet, but let's see what the comments say. If I don't hear anything, then I'll probably still just go for the Warlock. But it'll be interesting to see how many weeks it takes, because it's not going to be done in 1 week. It's going to be interesting to see how much effort I actually have to put into it. And actually, if it's a fun experience, because why do we play video games? We play video games to have fun. And if this challenge turns out not to be fun, then surely that means that WoW isn't fun anymore. So when 10.2 comes out, hopefully over the next coming month, we will see this challenge develop. My character will be ready, I will be ready, and it'll be interesting to see where this journey goes. So if you want to join me for this series and you want to join me for this journey, then perhaps subscribe. And like I say, let me know what you think is going to happen. Let me know what character you want me to do, and make sure you comment below. Thank you very much for watching. And yeah, I'm really excited. I'll see you guys soon. Just a quick one, guys, before you end this video, to remind you that I have a Twitter. It's at MooBundo. I also stream on Twitch every so often, so come and check me out. But I think I'm going to be doing a little bit more streaming on YouTube. Remember, check that Twitter. I post some cool shit. See you later, guys.